Welcome everybody to Lunch with Lucy. Thanks for joining us. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, my name is Kate Remillard and I'm on the marketing team at VHT Studios. I'll be your MC today and we have an amazing guest, but before we get started, I just need to mention that we have everybody muted except for our panelists. So if you have questions for our guest, please add them to the Q&A box on your screen and we'll answer those as we go, as well as at the end. And then you'll also want to stay on to the end where we're going to announce the winners of the free lunches provided by VHT Studios. So you must be present to win for those. Now I am happy to introduce Lucy Edwards.
Hello, everybody. Lucy Edwards with VHT Studios, Director of Client Success. And today I am in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm using our client's conference room. So my light is changing by the minute, and I don't even know what causes it and how to fix it. But I'm going to focus on today's talk show. And just forgive me if I'm too red or too purple, or now I'm kind of like brown. So whatever color I am. But trust me, I am real. I would love to introduce our guest today, Rebecca Rose. She's a CEO of Studeo. And please note, Studeo is spelled with an E. So when you Google the company and when you want to see more about the company, please make sure you spell it right. So Rebecca, it's so nice to have you here as our guest. Really appreciate your time. And Rebecca is from Canada. So, but you are on the same time zone as we are, so it's all good. So
I am.
Rebecca,
I'm in Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah. So Rebecca has an amazing company with an amazing, absolutely great product, and we're going to talk about it. And the most important, what I would like to bring to our audience today, and I've been preaching it for a long time, every house has the story, and the realtor is the best person to relate that story to the buyer. And they can talk about that property and the house and make it a home by the story. So that's what we would love to discuss today, right, Rebecca? So how would you describe the storytelling, especially if you are doing it online?
So storytelling is really just a way of packaging information. And if you think about, and we can use, your properties as an example, but storytelling is really something that we should have a conversation about kind of at the brand level, right? And how to actually build your business and why storytelling is so important, not just for your listing, but really for your business as a whole. But storytelling is really very simply is just a way of packaging information in a way that makes it easier for human beings to understand, relate to, and feel something towards. My background, my undergraduate is I went to film school. So I originally thought I was going to be a storyteller in film. It's very interesting that I kind of ended up as a storytelling entrepreneur instead. But really, if you think about examples of storytelling, kind of even just outside your business for a moment, film and TV and books, it's really a way of curating somebody through kind of information and tying it together so that we can actually understand it, relate to it, and feel something towards it.
So and I agree with you that your brand depends on storytelling, because everything you do for yourself today, it will come back to you tomorrow. And it's an investment. Everything you are preparing for your property, for your listing, professional photography, video, whatever else you are doing, it is investment in your future listings, as well as your name and your brand. And you want to be associated with something absolutely magnificent, what you are doing. And when someone is referring you to another client, they're saying, oh, you got to work with that agent because what she has is exceptional. So maybe we can just spend a few minutes on the product itself and how you package it to build the brand and also to tell the story.
Right. If I can just I'm really happy to share examples, and I'll jump into showing how you can package content that you've been developing online in a variety of different ways in your business. But I do want to take a step back and just talk about what brand is for a moment, because what a lot of people in real estate don't realize is brand isn't your logo. and it's not the colors that you've chosen, and it's not even the design of your feature sheets, right? And a lot of people mistake developing a brand to the visual identity that you've been working on. And really, what brand actually is, it's a little bit more conceptual than most people think. If you think about, again, sometimes it's easier to understand if you kind of take a step back from your business and real estate, but think about other brands that you have relationships with in your life. Think about, are you a Coke or Pepsi person? If you had to choose, really when you're choosing between them, you're identifying with the story behind it. It's how, the marketing world has kind of built up this story around these products, that when you're actually consuming and buying those products, you're very much buying into their story. You're very much buying into the ideas behind who am I and what does that represent to me, and therefore I'm going to align myself with that brand, aka that story. And so let's take that idea back into the real estate business. When you think about your own business, what do you want your prospects and your customers to think about you? What is the story about who you are, what your expertise in, who you specialize in servicing, what markets you serve? All of those different kind of nuances to your business together create a story about who you are, so that when somebody thinks about who they are and they go, oh, I'm looking for somebody who services Jacksonville in the luxury market because I'm in the market for something, I'm an entrepreneur and I want a luxury home, and I need someone who's going to represent my specific needs and lifestyles. Who am I going to think about? And you want to be that person that they think about. And in today's age, where especially in the last couple of years, where the culture is accelerated into the online world, you need to think about what are all the things that you're doing and all the different places that people are finding you to communicate that story. So with that in mind, I'll give you some examples. I'm just going to share my screen for a moment.
Well, while you're doing that, Rebecca, I just want to add, like when you are watching commercials and you have the story, it's, at the end, you are realizing it's all about aspirin, but it's really a story, how grandma loves the grandchild, or how you are getting ready for work and whatever else you have to do. And it's just like, it's a story behind it. And sometimes you just can't wait to the end of that commercial to find out what it's all about, because it was such a fun story.
Well, and storytelling is also what makes it human, right? Because it connects it to the things that are real to us in our day-to-day lives. And at the end of the day, if you can make it more human and you can make it more relatable, then that translates into relationships, and it translates into an increased amount of trust. And at the end of the day, that's why you get chosen in the real estate business. You get chosen not because you were able to give the most amount of data and analysis, but in doing that analysis, you're demonstrating your expertise and you're creating trust. So really the core thing that's getting you chosen is trust. So how do we inject your business in a variety of different ways, even when you're not there to represent yourself in person, to engender trust and relationship so that you can create the story and the impression that you want and infuse your brand with exactly what you need to do in order to bring the business and have them choose you. What I'm showing you right now is an example of how you can apply storytelling to your listings, but this is not just about kind of curating the content, bringing it together and making it more human so that buyers relate to it, but it's also demonstrating to your sellers and to the world at large that you are in a different category of real estate business, that you're not here seeing it as a transaction, but you actually get that this is a human business and that you're helping people not buy and sell homes, but change their lives. And moving is a big change in somebody's life. And the more that you can tie yourself and connect yourself to those changes so that people really trust you with that big change of life, that's really where things get very interesting and you can very much set yourself apart. One thing that you'll notice here and what we've done and the way we package this it's not just about beds and baths and square footage and hardwood floors. This is about injecting it with human moments and talking about lifestyle. And when you do this, it becomes not just about the home, but about the community, and everything that you're now showcasing says something about you as well.
Yeah, I think it's, yes, it's exactly what you are talking about. It's not all about different products that you just purchased. It's how you put them together and how you organize it in a way that it is a story, and how everyone can relate to it in a way, right?
Correct. And the relationship to the content, getting people, you really have 6 to 8 seconds. When you're in the online world, right? Because there's so many tabs open and so many apps running, and someone's on their phone or on their computer and their whole life is happening around them. They're very distracted. And you're kind of at their mercy, at the mercy of them to make a decision about where they're going to put their attention. And so you really have about 6, maximum 8 seconds to just give them something that's meaningful, that makes them feel something, so that they are going, oh, this is interesting, I want to spend more time. The longer they spend, the greater the connection and relationship you're developing with them kind of occurs, and you're not even there yet to have that conversation. And that's such a critical kind of moment that you need in order to transition kind of a stranger into somebody that feels connected to you and your brand.
Exactly. And I just appreciate also the fact that certain products are used in your storytelling. So if someone is enjoying the 3D tour, it is part of the story. However, if they are not comfortable, they can skip and they can go to photos and to the video and everything else that is offered there. Plus you have brief description. So I think to package the story the way that it is comprehensible for everybody, that is really the goal for us to achieve.
Yeah, you'll notice that our approach to this, the way that we design the experience, it's both, we use what we call editorial design. So think of it, like kind of the approach that magazines take to draw you in to kind of a literary experience. We're kind of translating and bringing that idea into the online space, and then we inject it with different kinds of media. So you have an opportunity to really level up on your media investment, but not so that you have all these kind of disparate pieces of content that you don't know how to bring together. It's about using them together to tell a bigger story, but making it interactive and creating variety of experiences within that story so that you keep people's attention, you create that wow factor, you create emotion, and therefore you get the stickiness that you want, the engagement time, and it really kind of takes you and your business and the impression about you to just a completely different level than I bet you everyone else in your market. So it does become kind of this really huge differentiator for people as they're going in to win business.
And also looking at the examples that you've been introducing here, I would like to bring everyone's attention to the fact that everything is done professionally. So every image is breathtaking and captures your attention. And also I would like to mention, to actually just, comment on what you said about 8 seconds or so. It brings us to the same conversation that we've been having over and over. MLS allows me to have 100 photos, 50 photos, 37 photos, whatever it is. Sometimes you don't need that many images. All you need is just a few breathtaking images to grab the attention, because that's what you have. You have 8 seconds. If someone is interested, they will call you. They will ask for an appointment. They would love to have a live tour of the property, but at least you are giving them that, I call it like an appetizer, right? Something to grab their attention and to bring to buyers' attention the most important and valuable images. Do you agree with me, Rebecca?
100%. I mean, what you want to make sure is, because first impressions matter so much, especially when you have such a limited amount of time to get someone to give you their attention. It's actually a well-known, this kind of idea of the attention economy, whereas we're competing for people's kind of focus. Because back in the day when most advertising happened, for example, on television, there's these commercial breaks, and you got to force people to watch because they're waiting for their show to start again. In kind of on the internet, that's completely gone away. You can literally go from site to site to site. You can have multiple sites open. You have multiple devices open. And so you're really competing for attention. And in order to win that game, you have to really go up a level, and not just, you got to provide something of value to the person who's sitting there, right? It can't be about you. If you make it too much about you and not about them and what's valuable to them, then you're going to lose them. And so you can subtly make it about you, because you are communicating something about you. Through the storytelling, you're telling your story about who you are and what you value. But in doing so, you're providing them with something that they value and can connect with. And that's really why it's so powerful.
And I will also have some polls, so please make sure to participate in polls. I love to go over them afterwards. It's really interesting. So, and we will get the results to you right away. So we'll share the results so you will know what everyone is saying. And I am a pro storyteller, so please let us know who is telling the story. And what Rebecca was just saying, it's not about you. You're making it about the property, about the community, about the lifestyle,
right? Yeah, exactly.
But really, it's your brand, right? So you are providing information about how creative you are.
And this really is where strategy can come and start playing, because if you want to start thinking strategically about your business, the best way is to focus in on a kind of a niche of the market that you can build a brand around and be seen as the expert in that area. And that's really where you see a lot of the most successful real estate businesses start from, is because they found kind of a place in the market, a positioning of expertise that, when somebody's in their mind going, I'm looking for somebody who can help me with X, I can either choose a general realtor who just does real estate, or I can find someone who is an expert in the thing that I need. You're way more likely to go with the person who's an expert. So when you start demonstrating the kind of lifestyle that you are focusing on delivering to your prospects, you are communicating the story about your expertise. And that actually takes me into ways in which you can use storytelling above and beyond your listing. So your listings are really important. Think about an artist and their portfolio. People are number one going to be looking about, you want to get a listing, they want to know what you've done for other people's listings, right? So you want your listings to shine above and beyond, above everything. But there are other things you can do in your business if you don't have a listing right now, or even to complement the listings that you do have, or even to start steering your business into the direction that you want to go. For example, you may be right now in the condo market, but you really want to get into the detached homes and kind of the next level up in residential, or maybe you are in certain neighborhoods and you want to start moving towards luxury neighborhoods. It's a very different story you need to tell to the people who will pick you. And so there's opportunities to create stories around communities and the communities you want to serve or that you do serve, to demonstrate that you're not just here promoting yourself, you're here to support the community, to highlight the community, that you know things and the nuances about living in particular places better than anybody. It's so easy for any realtor to say, I'm an expert here. I'm an expert in this, I'm the best here, I'm the best negotiator, I'm the best in this neighborhood. It's much more nuanced to actually show that you are an expert, that you can demonstrate that you know all the nooks and crannies and special places to discover and experience in a particular community. And that's what storytelling can really help you offer, is the ability to really demonstrate and show in a very visible way, that you have this expertise and knowledge, and that is going to be what sets the conversation into a different tonality and different direction than every other realtor that prospect could be talking to. And so you can create there's lots of opportunities to create, general stories about the communities and neighborhoods that you're focused on. You can highlight particular businesses, and that's actually a great relationship and networking opportunity too, is if you're going and reaching out to a local business and saying, look, I want to help promote you. I think you're so integral and important to the experience of this community. I want to make sure that you're front and center, that I'm helping your business. Do you mind if I use some of your Instagram content in my story so that I can highlight you? They're absolutely going to say yes. Now you've got a personal relationship that you're adding value to the business, and you're injecting yourself into the community, right? And you're building your network and your brand throughout the business community within that local network, and also being able to demonstrate to your prospects that you are in there, you know this community better than anybody.
So I was going to ask Kate also. Kate, do you mind sharing the results from the first two polls? I think it's great. And I think it's a great idea to use the storytelling in your social media. I strongly believe in Instagram. I think Instagram is amazing, and it's a really a direction that everyone is taking now, and sharing and having the presentations live. So yes, absolutely. And I think the storytelling in Instagram is the appropriate place.
Yeah, somebody just asked, can you use this type of storytelling on social media? And then also, I'm curious your opinion on just brand building and communicating all of these things that you've been talking about on social media, and how to really use it.
Okay, great question. So yes, every storybook that we create is just a URL. So, like you can share any URL, you can just copy and paste this into any of your social feeds. Now with Instagram, it's a little bit different. There's a way of capturing kind of a quick preview video of the storybook and then putting the link in the description so that people can go and experience the full thing, because Instagram doesn't, you can just put kind of photos and videos, right, in Instagram. But every other social platform, if you copy and paste this into your platform, into your news feed, it will automatically populate with a thumbnail and description and a kind of a instigation to click. So when you click it, it goes into the storybook. So really, yes, absolutely. This is meant to be shared on social media. It's meant to be embedded in email campaigns and blasts. It's meant to be connected and embedded in your website. So you've got lots of robust content on your site that is demonstrating exactly who you are and what you want people to feel about you, not just know about you, but feel about you. And so the way in which you should think about this is consider all the different places that people find out about you. How are they finding you? Do you have a good audience, a particular growing audience on a particular social network? That's really where you want to start elevating your content presence, because what social is really great at is giving you a channel to, on a regular basis, provide content of value. And I really want to emphasize two things. One is a regular basis, because you need to keep putting something out there in order to stay top of mind. The second is of value. So if you're putting out something that is boring, people will less likely click on it or connect with it, or right. And if you're sending out just kind of a boring market report, that's probably not going to appeal to very many people who are not, maybe are not investors. Maybe investors would be interested in kind of the pure numbers and statistics, but for the average person, they're looking for more relatable human content.
Like grab the attention, I would say, right? Just grab your attention, and then
right.
And so they can focus on the property itself and get excited about it.
And really the key thing here is you want to appeal to people's hearts before their minds. And if you think about the things that get shared most on social media, think about, my news feeds, for example, on Facebook are just a constant flow of puppy videos and babies, right?
Exactly.
Because that's, it makes you stop because your heart responds to it, and then your mind responds to it. But really, we react much more quickly and more connectedly through with our hearts. And so you really want to think about what human content can I put out there that connects first with people's hearts and then their minds.
That's excellent. Rebecca, we do have some questions, and then also if we can go through some polls would be great also to see the results.
Yeah, so Esther is asking about like the legality of using your URL to advertise elsewhere, and then also permissions on using others' photos and videos. So I think she's referring to these different kind of like stock videos that are
Yep.
embedded
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a really great question. So when you create your own storybooks on Studeo on our platform, you actually get your own domain. So it won't be Studeo Digital, it would be your domain that's connected to it. So I hope that answers. I'm not 100% sure I understood the first part of the question, but I hope that answers it. With regards to the content itself, you ask permission. If you're going to take it from someone's Instagram account, it's their content, but you're going to ask permission to use it, and they're going to give you permission. But in terms of stock content, we actually have purchased the rights to a whole library of different stock that you get access to and you are free to use within our platform. You also have the ability, if you want to purchase your own stock, by purchasing that stock, you are purchasing the license to use it. So we've done that on the behalf of our customers. You have the ability to do it for yourself, but also a lot of our customers have relationships with photographers like VHT and can say, when you go and do that shoot for my property, can you also do a little drive around the neighborhood, spend an extra 45 minutes and capture some key important lifestyle landmarks in that community that I can bring into my storybook. And so that becomes yours to use, right? And so there's lots of opportunity to create content. Content is very available now today. Just make sure that you're just not going on Google and grabbing someone's random image, right? That's all.
Yes, indeed. Let's see. Oh, somebody's wondering how the looping images are made.
So that's called a cinemagraph, and that's actually a feature of our platform. So when you have access to Studeo, you have the ability of choosing the kind of media type that you want in any particular spot. This media type, if you choose, it's just a video clip that you can insert, and then you say, I want it to be a cinemagraph. Our platform automatically kind of connects it and loops it and turns it into kind of this looped video.
But there is also software that you can use to have something like that done as well.
It's when you're doing it within the storybook, it's simpler than that. You don't need any extra software.
Oh, okay.
If you're doing it on your own separately in other contexts, then yes, you can probably find software to loop video for you. But generally, I find that cinemagraphs kind of feel out of place if you just kind of plop it on a website without any context. One of the things that storytelling and the storybook provides is the context to understand what it is I'm looking at and why it's meaningful, that it's connected to, this particular shop, and that I have a description here, I can read about it. If I just place that looped video randomly on a page, it's not going to make as much sense as if you have it as kind of the fuller story.
Correct.
Okay. Let's
Very good questions also. Thank you, everybody.
Fantastic questions. Thank you, guys.
Let's look a little bit at the poll questions before we wrap up. And we'll be sure to share Rebecca's info at the end. Okay. I know some people have asked for it. So the first question we asked was how you think you're doing at weaving storytelling into your business. 53% of you said you do okay, but can improve. 38 said not well at all. And about 3 of you claim to be professional storytellers. So interesting results there. And And then we asked which professional marketing services you use. 97% of people use photography, which is great. Almost half of you said video, which is also really awesome.
That is great. Thank you.
Yeah. 45% 3D tours, 62% drone video and photographs, and then 76% flyers and brochures.
Oh, we have a testimonial here from Chip.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, Chip and Lauren. How are you doing? I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then for social platforms, we asked which one you see the most return on your business. And it was definitely Facebook was the winner there, and then Instagram. And there's 3 people that don't see any real return on their business, but LinkedIn was kind of at the bottom, and nobody uses TikTok, which is interesting. I think those were our 3 polls.
I'm surprised that LinkedIn is on the bottom, because it's a great platform for videos altogether. So when you would like to incorporate a video in your LinkedIn post, it gives you great return on investment. So I personally use it. I think it's amazing. Give it an opportunity. What social media?
Yeah, ultimately it's going to be, where is your audience and where have you built up the best audience? And I actually think all of the platforms can be wildly successful, but it's about where you're best networked, and who's paying it, and in which channel are people paying most attention to what you're doing, and how can you use that to optimize that connection you're having with your audience, build it up further, and start diversifying on other platforms as well, so that you've got a variety of different places that people are paying attention.
So Rebecca, what platform you are using? I know you are very big on Instagram as a studio, as a company. So, but we had a question on because they could not locate you on Facebook or LinkedIn.
We recently switched our Facebook. So I think you'll find us as Studeo AI on Facebook. You should find us also on Instagram. We also have a LinkedIn page, but just remember that Studeo is spelled with an E. So Studeo. So please connect with us. We are there.
Yeah, and what's the best way if they want to get in touch with you for questions about pricing and packages and all that good stuff?
Yeah, just reach out to us at studiohq.com. So STUDEO HQ, like headquarters.com, and just contact us, and we'll put you in touch with one of our account executives to walk you through how everything works and how our strategy program works, and perhaps there's an opportunity for you to start integrating storytelling into your different channels in your business.
That's great. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think you shared a lot.
Hi, Linda.
Oh, Linda, she found it. Studeo HQ with an E. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you. And thank you for having me, Lucy. I mean, I think there's such a great synergy between what we do. And you know, we really rely on professional companies like yours to create great media. And then we're kind of the next step that allows people to take that really incredible professional media that you're producing and package it into something that can be just taken to that next level of creating that human impact and that storytelling that, you know, just completely changes the conversation and their competitive differentiation.
Absolutely. And I also appreciate the fact that all the material that you are using is professional materials done by professional photographers. And so that's what also makes it happen and makes it so outstanding and classy, elegant, something that every agent will be proud of.
I just want to emphasize it's so easy to do. You don't need to be technical. There's no technical knowledge required. If you know how to upload images, then that's pretty much all you need to know in order to create beautiful storybooks. And ask us, you know, about some of our new automated features. We've got a lot of really interesting technologies that we've been implementing to just make things so seamless and easy for everyone to be able to access and start getting the impact that they really want to get.
That's great. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank
We
you,
appreciate
Rebecca.
it.
It was definitely, I can't even say interesting. I would say it's really amazing what you are offering. And we should all be thinking about being a step ahead of our competition and offering products and offering directions and stories that not every agent is up to date on those directions. So please take advantage of being the first and the best.
Awesome. Well, wrapping up, please visit vht.com/learn to register for our next Lunch with Lucy. It's October 13th. We're speaking with Sunny Lake Hahn, who's a real estate consultant, tech expert. She's been in the industry for 15 years. We're going to be talking about building a stellar reputation through connection with others and fostering relationships that build a lifetime of business. So it'll be a really great conversation with Sunny. And again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you, Kate. And have a great day, everybody. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye.